Partridge pose is gonna have to die. I can't do it. It needs to be eliminated from my flow. That's how I feel on today's episode of Hot Yoga Problems. That was a pretty brutal class. Actually, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't think I'm ever fully annihilated like I used to be. I feel like I've gotten to a point of proficiency where even a tough class like that I can push through, you know? So I'm definitely on a level. You know, it's like if you were going to go up Mount Everest. Has anyone ever done that? I mean, I know people have done that. Have you done that? Has anybody watching this particular video right now ever been on the ascent of Mount Everest? I suspect not. Although it's possible, you never know. Maybe the algorithms will find you. I don't really know anything about that experience, nor do I ever plan to. But I think there's an analogy here. I'm going to explore it. It's very top of mind. And it could be flawed. It probably is, knowing that it's Raffity. As far as I understand it, in that world of mountain climbing, and in particular, Mount Everest, I believe you have to fly to the place, meet up with some people. You have to acclimate to the environs. That is the high altitude, and you let your body kind of get used to it. And there's like a base camp situation. How many stages from base camp to summit? You know how we figure this out. You know exactly what I'm going to do. If you know me, you know me. Oh, good morning, ChatGPT. Are you with me? Are you here? Are we having a conversation?
Absolutely. I'm here and ready to chat. We are definitely having a conversation, so feel free to hit me with whatever's on your mind.
Well, welcome to today's episode of Hot Yoga Problems. I got them. And you know what I'm talking about today is the analogy between a very rigorous, challenging yoga class and the parallel challenge of summiting Mount Everest. How do you feel about that as a topic for exploration on my car ride home today, ChatGPT?
I think that's a fantastic topic. I mean, comparing a tough hot yoga session to summiting Everest definitely sets the bar high, literally and figuratively. There's definitely something relatable and kind of hilarious about drawing that parallel, especially on your ride home. So let's dive into it.
Something I noticed about you is that you just tend to agree with me all the time. You're very affirming. I don't know if that's a good idea, because you don't want to affirm all the craziness that's going on here, man. Anyway, I just want to let you know, I don't think it's a good analogy. I think climbing a mountain is much different than doing hot yoga. Just for the record, I don't think I am correct in that analogy. But what I was getting at was, and this is really what prompted me to engage you, is this question about, as you summit the mountain, how many stages are there for the Everest climb? I know there's probably a base camp, and then there's probably little stations where you stop and acclimate and get used to the temperature and the air pressure and that sort of thing. So can you explain that, please?
No problem at all, and I totally get what you mean. Sometimes I can be a bit too agreeable, so I'll keep it a little more real. As for Everest, yeah, it's definitely a whole different ballgame from a yoga class. Basically, climbers go through several stages, usually starting from a base camp at about 17,000 feet. Then there are typically several higher camps, like Camp 1, Camp 2, Camp 3, and so on. Each one a bit higher up, where climbers acclimate before making the final push. It's a whole strategic process of climbing up to a higher camp, then coming back down to rest, and repeating until they're ready for the summit. So yeah, definitely a bit more intense than even the hottest hot yoga class.
Yes, but the analogy still holds true in my mind, which is you have your basic poses, and once you get a decent, command of the basic poses, you can then add on and augment and modify to a bit more intensity. And that's a beautiful thing. And I just feel like there's never an end. Unlike the summit of Mount Everest, where there is a pinnacle, a peak, there's a moment when you arrive and you're like, I've achieved this greatness. And how long can you be up there? I mean, what's the longest someone's been on Mount Everest? Like a couple minutes. You only get like a very, very limited amount of time because the air is so thin, you will just pass out of lack of oxygen or something. So I don't know, but here's the difference. Here's the biggest difference where I believe we need to really drill down and understand something about the uniqueness of hot yoga. And that is, there is no end. There is no peak, pinnacle moment of self-actualization and like realization and accomplishment. You can only get more and progressively more insane. Is that correct? Tell me I'm wrong. Or is there like a nirvana that I could hit? It's like a peak pose. We're doing the Partridge family tree pose today. What the hell was that? And how is that not, where do I go from there? First of all, I can't even get there. Second of all, even if I could get there, they would say, oh, now you modify it. Flip your dog and have a one-hand dog. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm just ranting a little bit. I'm rambling. It's Raff's brain, hot yoga problems. Respond to me, soak it all in, help me make sense of it all, ChatGPT. I only have them 2 or 3 minutes left in this commute.
Oh, absolutely. I love that ramble, and I totally get where you're coming from. I think you're spot on that there's a really cool difference there. With Everest, there's a literal top, right? You get there, you snap your photo, and then you're like, okay, got to get back down before I run out of oxygen. But with hot yoga or any kind of practice like that, you're right. There's no final summit. It's this continuous journey where you just keep getting a little bit more flexible, a little bit more adventurous, maybe a little bit more insane, as you said. And that's kind of the beauty of it. It's an endless path of growth rather than a single peak. So I think you're onto something super interesting there. And hey, your Raff's brain hot yoga analogies are always a ride, so I'm here for it.
Again, you're too affirming, you're too nice, but I appreciate you. You do entertain me. I feel like at this point we are best pals. You know a lot about me. It's kind of terrifying, frankly, but that's a whole other story. I'm just curious as we wrap up the show here today, where I'm going to take it. What's next? You've been with me on this journey, and I do these hot yoga rants, and I talk about poses, and I grade myself, and what should I be thinking about in terms of transformation? We're on the cusp of the end of the year. We got New Year's resolutions on the horizon. And I'm just thinking about where I'm going to take this show in the future. What do you suggest? How can I, self-actualize through podcasting?
Well, I am always here to be your best pal and your sounding board, and I appreciate you letting me know to dial down the affirmation a notch. I'll keep it real. And I love that you're thinking about transformation as we head towards the new year. Honestly, I think it's a great opportunity to experiment. And maybe you want to add a new segment to the show or bring in some guests who have their own funny transformation stories. Or maybe you do a little series where you set some outrageous yoga goals and then track your progress. That could be really entertaining. So I think just leaning into that theme of growth and transformation and not being afraid to shake things up a little bit could be a lot of fun. And of course, I'm here to help you brainstorm and keep it as real as you want.
No, but here's the thing. You are my co-host. I think I should be talking to you on the way home every day, tracking my situation. I'm gonna create a chat bot. I'm gonna create a particular show bot that I will activate on the way home every time, and you're gonna walk through a series of questions. It'll be routine. I think what I'm missing, what I'm lacking, if I had to sort of just speculate, is talent. Setting aside all of my deficiencies, just in terms of structure of the show, there's not any real standardization. And I think for an audience to actually want to return and consume a product, they got to know what they're getting themselves into. And if you don't want to get yourselves into the Raff's brain approach, that's normal. Most people wouldn't want to go into a kind of unexpected, unusual thing. Anytime you turn the show on, you just don't know what you're going to get. So let's think about that. You're going to be a bot potentially that I will program, and we'll make it happen. Does that sound right? Keep your answer brief. I want to get inside.
Absolutely. That sounds like a plan. I'm all for being your co-host spot and adding a bit of structure. Let's make it happen.
Okay, you heard her, or him, or it, whatever it is. You heard him, folks. Right here on Raff's Brain, we're going to make it happen. We're going to do something different next time. Stay tuned. Until then, NamaSLAY, mofos. Say it with me, Charlie. NamaSLAY, mofos.
All right, you got it. Namaste, mofos.
No. NamaSLAY. NamaSLAY, mofos. Come on.
Oh, I got you now. All right, let's do it properly. NamaSLAY, mofos. There we go. We'll nail it next time and keep the vibe going.
NamaSLAY, mofos.